Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, here we go.
I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive. Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, people saving lives at the Goodwill, and a phone call from the shooter's dad, and a man sues his stripper girlfriend, and loggers invade an untouchable tribe. All this and much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live as we comb through your social news, your viral stories, and news you might have missed over the last 7 days or so, and all done all within 60 minutes. So there you go. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's what I always ask. That's what I care about. I want to make sure that you're doing okay and you're getting along and doing fine. But as far as me, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good this week. It's been hot out there. Jesus Christ. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town of 2,500 people. A town called Marshville. We're basically cattle and poultry out here. My wife and I, we have horses. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. My neighbors next door have poultry. We have poultry too here. We have chickens and stuff, and they have poultry, and they have goats and stuff, and they process all their stuff next door. We don't process anything. We just eat the eggs from our chickens. They actually have meat-eating eggs or meat-eating chickens, and they also have egg-laying chickens. So that's where we're at. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and part of the, being out here in the middle of nowhere, I mean, there's always something to do, but I'm always looking for like some kind of new series. I don't know if it's my age or just what's out there, but some of the series, it's not, we're the good old days, the Breaking Bad, the Seinfeld, the Office, those type series that have, made hardline staples in our entertainment world and our entertainment community for many years. So now, granted, I've been watching, the Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner. That's pretty good. That's not too bad. My wife will watch just about anything CSI, Miami, FBI, ER, all those not reality scripted, but scripted emergency shows. It's either in a hospital or a fire station or a police department in a fire station next to a hospital, and it's always that, congruent stuff of going on. She loves those shows. Me, I just kind of go, I don't want to see people suffering all the time. One series I started and I thought was pretty good. Now I'm letting you know right now, this is going to be a spoiler if you haven't seen the whole entire series. And there's a series out there called The Bear. And the only reason why I watched it, because the first season has the Jeremy White, I think that's his name, from Shameless. And if you don't know who he is, he was Lip. Instead of Philip, they just call him Lip instead of Phil. I guess that was the kooky thing. But I saw him and I was like, wow, he's a really good actor. He was a young kid back then. He grew up through the Shameless series, and now he's got his own series called The Bear, where he's basically the savant of the three brothers living in a Chicago town as far as being a chef. The two brothers are just, jamooks, hey, fuck you, hey, take that shit out back. And they had their own restaurant that their dad built and created and stuff, and it was called The Beef. And unfortunately, the oldest brother dies in season 1, and the conflict of the brother having to come back home and take care of basically the family. Season 1 was great. Awesome. I can't wait for season 2. Season 2 comes around. He's starting to find his feel. He's starting to get into his gears, switching on the fly. He's changed the restaurant from this slop house, cheese Italian pot roast sandwich shop where they just throw meat in the sandwich and go, okay, there you go. Hey, go fuck yourself. You want something else on your sandwich, You want fucking mayonnaise on it? Get the fuck out of here type deal. To actually creating this, almost niche type restaurant where it's his idea and his menu and he's the chef and this is my palate and it's Wagyu beef and scallops, al grande, or I don't know, I'm just making up chef names that I heard Gordon Ramsay use, and he turns it into this thriving restaurant. But the problem is, here's what I don't understand. If you've seen the show, you understand what I'm talking about. He's trying to get a star, one of those Michelin stars, which any chef will tell you they would rather give him back. They're a pain in the ass. But in this show, he wants to get a Michelin star. And if you don't know what a Michelin star is, it was many years ago. It was created by the Michelin Tire Company, basically saying, hey, these are restaurants that are worth wearing your tires out to go see. Essentially, long of the short is. So that's what Michelin tires, Michelin star restaurant, drive your car, 100 miles, wear those tires down, buy more tires from us. Here's a great restaurant that you should go drive and see. So he's trying to get a star, and just the people that he's got working in the shop with him are the same people that were running the shithouse, the beef, the pot belly, poor boy sandwiches, and he's getting upset. Why? And he's got a sous chef who's actually studied and gone through the whole schooling and everything, but everyone else on his fucking staff is fucking rejects from the opening of the Brothers store in the beginning of season 1. Why are you getting upset? You have people who do not understand how to do this stuff, and you're getting on their case. Fire those fuckers. Get those fuckers out of there and get some people in there that know what's going on. Well, that's season 2. Nothing happens. They all have trying to find their meld and find their groove and stuff. Season 3. Oh yeah, I'm ready. My wife and I are watching the first episode. Do you remember what happened last season? Well, they're kind of recapping it in this flashback. So the whole first episode is nothing but a flashback. Episode 2, kind of bickering back and forth. They're going to get a write-up in the Times or something like that, so they're setting that up. Hold on a sec. And it's 10 episodes. So the 10 episodes kind of goes back in time and shows how each... I say chef, and they fucking call each other chef left and right. It drives me insane. But anyways, it shows how each person that worked in the kitchen came to be at that location, to be under him. So there's a back history of the one girl, the back history of the pastry chef, and there's a back history. So they just do a lot of back histories. At the end of the season, I'm sitting there watching it, not knowing it was the last episode. I'm just watching, next, on Hulu, next. Next. And I get to the last one, and it's credits roll, and I'm like, there's no more next? What the fuck? Wow, fuck this. The last episode, I'm sitting there going, I don't even think the writers, I'm looking at my wife, I don't even think the writers came in to write this episode. There's no dialogue. There might have been 200 to 300 words said in the whole episode. And I say said, scripted. You did this to me, I hate you, you did this to me, and you caused me a lot of headache and pain. Everything else was just table chit chat. Like the cameras were rolling around, they had all these fancy chefs from all over were sitting in this one restaurant where they call it it's a funeral. They're shutting the doors. Oh, we're going to the funeral, and this one fancy restaurant, 5-star, 4-star, Michelin, whatever the fuck it was, decides to close the door. So all the chefs, to pay their respects, go there and eat for the last time. And then it just quits. And I'm like going, that's it? There's no cliffhanger. I mean, granted, at the end it goes, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. At the end, he sees on his cell phone 4 missed phone calls and then a Google, push notification. Here's the review of the Bear restaurant. And that's all he was worried about through the whole entire 3rd season. And I'm sitting there going, wait, hold on. What? And then I'm confused because they're showing highlights of all these different bad reviews and good reviews and bad reviews and good reviews and bad reviews. And I'm like going, I don't I shake my head. I'm like, I don't understand what this thing is. I swear to God, I've lost it. I don't care now. You've lost me. Sorry. It was a well scripted show the first 2 seasons, but the last season was just, they phoned it in. I don't know if it was because they were doing that during the writer's strike, because that's about the time that happened. Trying to get the screens written or the scenes written and get it shot, and it just seemed phoned in. It was very, very Okay, we got it. Yes, okay, we got that too. All right, where's the conflict? Where's the struggle? Where's the fight? Where's the where's the twist? Where's the oh my god moment? The oh my whatever moment. I don't know. So we got a lot to talk about, not the bear, and hopefully we won't let you down during this show. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. We have our very own YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe over there. It's not a money grab. It's just another media source so you can enjoy the program, because we do talk a lot about different videos, different pictures and scenes and stuff, and you can see those in real time as we're talking about them here on the air. So go on over to DeaconLive podcast over on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe over there. All right, when we come back, loggers. Well, hold on. When we come back, the return policy at Costco is very, 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 very lenient. And this guy on TikTok, if you're not watching this on the YouTube video, now's your chance to go over there now. This guy's going to talk about when he was the front end cashier or head cashier, and what he saw coming to Costco. And it's amazing that people would have the gall to bring this type of stuff back. And we'll dive in that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Are you ready? Yeah, I guess so. Staring there, looking at my pee-pee. Here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show, you can be right here in the studio alongside of us. The way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. Right there in the middle of the page, follow the directions. It says, leave a message for Deacon Live. Comes right to our inbox, 123. I think it says record, listen back, and then send. It's that easy. And you can be anonymous if you want. You can put a fake name in there. I don't care. Just let us know what you think, what's going on. If you have a comment that you'd like to make towards me or anything about the show, you can do that right there on the Prophet Radio homepage, landing page as well. Now, for many years, I worked for Toys R Us. I say many years ago. Right out of high school, I worked for Toys R Us. And a good friend of mine was the returns desk. And he would just sit there and go, God, these fucking people. Now, this is back in, early 90s and whatnot. And it was my first job. I'm like going, how are these people bringing back stuff? They would bring back Power Wheels that were covered in mud. And they say, well, it doesn't run anymore. And they had the receipt, and they've only had it for like a year and a half. And we would have to physically give them a physical return on that, because they had their receipt. There was nothing really in the policy or anything, I think. And then that's when the 90 days started coming out for like electronics. And we were moving into a brand new world by doing that. Now, Costco, I don't know if they're taking a lesson or not really listening to the public out there, but people are walking all over them. The problem is, I think that the people that are walking all over them are just complete jerks, complete assholes. And let's see, this article starts out with saying, Costco is beloved by shoppers for many reasons. Its low prices, the free samples, the food court, all are part of the reasons why the chain boasts almost 130 million members as of last year. Another aspect people love about Costco is its return policy, though it isn't without controversy. Now, Costco is known for accepting returns on most any items. In fact, it has led numerous internet users by bringing back years-old possessions to the chain restaurant to search for a full refund. For example, one user claimed that she returned a used bidet to the store. Another alleged that she was able to return a couch after 2 years of use. We did a article about that a few months back. And furthermore, a user documented all the people returning Christmas trees after the holiday had passed. I don't want to store this. Here, you keep it and put it up in your attic over at Costco. Now, this self-proclaimed former Costco employee says that he has experienced a customer accepting an incredible return, and the return was, or attempting an incredible return, and the return was accepted. The video has been seen over 578,000 times. The user's name is Psycho Z28. Oh, he sounds like a classy guy. I got a Z28, babe. Says that he used to work as at the membership area of Costco, which is the front end, and he describes as comparable to like customer service. That's what it said. While he was there, he reported that he repeatedly informed the store's Chat GPT, the store's generous return policy. One day he got to learn just how generous that return policy can be. He says, I got called down to the membership area, and this guy was standing there with one of those orange flatbed carts. It had a whole bunch of pieces to like a playground set. The set was being sold for $1,399. So I'm going to let him tell the rest of this story. And if you want to see the story in real time as we're talking about it here on the air, go over to YouTube and make sure you like and subscribe. Search for DeaconLive podcast, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the air. And you can see the whole entire podcast over there. The video portion of the podcast over there as well. So here we go. Let's switch to camera 4. And I'm going to switch to this guy here. Where's he at? Here he goes. All right, there, Charlie. Hold on. Here we go.
Most of my time was spent up here. We'd be doing things such as making sure people were on carts, doors, cashiers were getting breaks, member questions, anything of that nature. The front end part of my job didn't mean just the cash registers. It also meant food court and membership. For those of you that don't know, membership is like customer service at Costco. At membership, we had a bunch of these return policy signs up. This sign just says that memberships are returnable anytime, merchandise is returnable anytime. The exceptions is only electronics have to be returned within the first 90 days.
So there you go. It says right there on the placard, all returns anytime, anything, whatever, anytime, and except for electronics. Anytime. What if I ate something, pooped it out? Can I bring it back? Gross. So let's see what else he has to say.
So one day that I was working, I get called down to membership. I see a guy standing there with one of those orange flatbed carts. It has a whole bunch of pieces to a playground set. The playground set was something like this. The employee called me up here to help find the receipt that it was purchased.
And it's like a slide if you're not watching this on the video. It's like one of those where the kid goes up a ladder and it's got a corkscrew slide and it's got like, where you can swing across, and it's a pretty big thing.
Just on. I'm looking through his purchase history on his membership card, and I'm searching by the item number. So I can see that he bought this in 2008. Now, this year is probably, I think it happened in 2022. So now I'm checking to see if all the parts are there of this playset he has. And I look at him and I ask, what's the reason for return? He says, my kids grew up. I'm just looking at him confused, because 2008 to 2022 is 14 years. That's when I noticed that the guy pushing the cart was like a 16, 17-year-old
That's
dude.
his son. He was playing on it.
The kid pushing the cart was the one he bought it for in the first place back in 08. So I do my part. I set up the return. It's allowed to go through because it's customer satisfaction first at Costco. You can check their return history to see if they've done anything like attempting this before with, returning multiple thousands of dollars in merchandise. So now I'm doing a key turn for this guy's $1,400 playset that he bought in 2008. And yes, he is able to return it because his kid grew up. There's no problems, no complaints. That's how Costco operates. They allow it for member satisfaction. This guy walked away with $1,400 from 2008 because his kid grew
Amazing.
up. This guy essentially borrowed a $1,400 playset.
No interest.
It's crazy how much Costco cares about their members.
Yeah, let's go back to me now. Yeah, because Costco, believe it or not, they're like Walmart. They have the way to haggle and daggle and deal and wheel deals and all that. If this one guy returned a $1,400 thing, they probably pay. What do you think Costco paid for that playset? $200, maybe $200 if they bought them in bulk. I'll buy a whole warehouse. I'll buy 1,000 units at $200 a piece, and they shell whatever the math is on that to the company that makes them. Oh yeah, well sure, let's get these out of here. And then one guy returns it for $1,400 and gets $1,400 back. Don't forget, he's a member. He's already buying shit left and right. They've already got him in the store. If he returns this one thing, then but I think if people keep doing that over and over, or if this guy keeps doing it over and over and over again, they're gonna go, hey, kibosh, put a stop on that. Now this group of people right here are trying to put the kibosh on part of the rainforest being logged. Hold on. Let's slow down here. Slow down. The world's largest uncontacted... Let's try that again. The world's largest uncontacted tribe comes out in the open after loggers move in. New rare images show members of the world's largest isolated indigenous tribe emerging from a remote part of the Peruvian Amazon, where loggers have been encroaching on their land. The Mashco Pyro, Mashcopiro tribe are thought to be the largest uncontacted tribe in the world, numbering almost 750 people, according to the Survivor International, a nonprofit advocating for indigenous people's rights. They inhabited the area located between two natural reserves, the Madre de Dios, and usually do not leave the cover of the rainforest or communicate with others on the outside. But recent weeks, members of the reclusive tribe have been seen breaking cover and looking for food to move away from the growing presence of loggers. Indigenous rights people the indigenous rights group people said. The Mashco Pyro were photographed at the end of June on the banks of the river of the Madre de Dios region in the southeast Peru near the border with Brazil. Carolina Pierce, director of the Survivor International, said, "These incredible images show the large number of the isolated Mashco Pyro live alone a few kilometers from where the loggers are about to start their operation." Now, I'm going to play this little video here. You can kind of see them. It's like when you shake the carpet and all the fleas come running out of the carpet. Not that I do that a whole lot, but that's the way it is. You see all these people just come walking out of the jungle, out of the rainforest. So here they are right here. Let's see if there's any sound. Is there any sound? Yes. There they are. Who's filming this? This is like set up like a drone set up on the beach and looking at these people. Here we go. Here comes more. All curse words. All curse words. Yeah, I know. I'm pissed too. I'm pissed for you guys. This is my land, not your land. So you see like women, you say, I don't see any children. Everyone looks above board there as far as 18 years or older. Alfredo Vargas Pio, head of the Let's do it this way. Alfred Vargas Pio said the irrefutable evidence that the Mashco Pyro live in this area, which the government has not only failed to protect, but actually sold off the logging rights to the company. The logging workers could bring new disease, which could wipe out the Mashco Pyro, and there also risk of violence with violence on either side. So it's very important that the territorial rights of the Mashco Pyro are recognized and protected by law. So more than 50 Mashco Pyro people appeared in the recent days near the village of the Yain people called Monte Salvado. Another group of 17 appeared near a village near Puerto Nuevo, according to the Survival International. The Peruvian government reported on the June 28th that the local residents have reported seeing Mashco Pyro in the Las Parias River, 90 miles from the city of Puerto Maldonado, the capital of Madre de Dios. So they're chasing them from land. Does that sound familiar, you guys? Have I don't want to say, does that sound familiar here in the United States? I mean, technically, that's kind of how we did the things here back in the days when we were coming over. We tried to make friends with them. A lot of them didn't want to be friends, but unfortunately, we had bigger guns. And, you don't hear a whole lot of people fighting up or standing up for indigenous people rights here in the United States. I think we pretty much went over all that. I think for the most part, the Indian people, we gave them land, we gave them this. We said, you can have all the casinos you want. You can have all the alcohol and liquor, no tax, no tobacco, all the tobacco, no taxes on that. That's all yours. You guys figure it out. And the chiefs of the tribe, for the most part, the smart chiefs, said, okay, we'll take that deal. And then a lot of other tribes were absorbed into there. I am somewhat... I'm like the guy. Well, I've got a black friend. No, I am. I'm like 1/8, 1/4, 1/8 Cherokee, So, where's my money at? No, I'm just kidding. But I think I've got to prove some kind of rights there, some kind of paper trail as far as back. I know I've got some Cherokee back in my family, especially living here in North Carolina. All right, when we come back, I know I'm rambling here. When we come back, why are Lay's potato chips not called Lay's potato chips over in Europe? And I'll dive into that mysterious story when we come back. Ooh, you won't believe it. And the country singer who belted out more than a belch at the singing the national anthem during the baseball game that came out this past week. And I'll dive into her story when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we will give you something for free. What you got to do for me is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. You can see all the different fine programming that comes out of this studio, the Prophet Radio studio. You can see the little drop-down menu of the Equine Dynamics podcast, the This Is 50 podcast, and also the Deacon Live podcast. And don't forget, you can see all your streaming, or you can hear all the streaming music that is played during the Deacon Live during our breaks and stuff. You can hear them in full length over at the Music Heard On section over at Prophet Radio. So check that out as well. If you're like, I want to hear some of the music that you play during the breaks, you can go over there and see all the different artists and listen to the whole entire tracks over there, and show them some support as well. You know, find them on Facebook, do all that stuff, and they'd appreciate that as well. Now, many years ago, in a land far, far away, I used to work in strip clubs. I know a lot of people are like, you worked in strip clubs? Yeah, I worked in strip clubs. It was a hard time. It was hard times, man. Cocaine's a hell of a drug, man. No, I was working for radio stations, and then I had to, fill the void in between working, one job and two jobs. So a friend of mine worked in a strip club. She's like, yeah, we're looking for a DJ. I'm like, I can fucking do that. I'm not a fucking moron. I can hit a couple buttons and say some people's names. Sure. So I did that for, 4 years, 5 years. I forget. Probably longer, probably less. I don't know. It's a whole blur for the most part. But I would see guys that would come in there all the time. Well, first of all, let me backtrack. I would see the girls, if it was a slow day, call like their regulars. And this was all new to me. I never, growing up, I never went in the strip clubs or anything like that. They would call the regulars in. Hey, Daddy, I need you in here. It's dead. I can spend some time with you. So, of course, this schmuck would come in and drop, $100, $200 on whatever girl that called him in, and it's just a weird facet world. But I mean, I was part of it. I was in it. But this man right here is suing his Las Vegas stripper girlfriend for $38 million because he believed they were in a relationship. Oh, really? Come on, guy. So apparently this Arkansas man didn't get the memo that, the whole girlfriend only inside these four walls is I'm your friend. But Fred Bruner is suing a Las Vegas stripper for $38 million after he found out, surprisingly, that they weren't in an exclusive relationship after all. According to the lawsuit, Bruner went to the strip club in 2014 while going through a divorce. Of course, that's where you end up. And while he was there, he met a dancer and formed what he thought was a romantic relationship with her. Okay, now I know, let me backtrack a little bit. I know that when I was working in the club, and the club's in Orlando, Florida. When I was working the clubs in Orlando, Florida, you were not allowed to have any outside contact with any customers, or you'd be fired. And because there was, prostitution, they could look into that and all this stuff. I don't know what the rules are in Vegas, but they seem to be pretty lenient out there in Vegas. The man began by taking the stripper on trips. All right, so there you go. And also would send her 5 figures a month while apparently thinking that they were in a relationship. But as it turns out, she actually had a boyfriend the whole time. Bum, bum, bum. Bruner's family owns the Bruner and Lay Company, a manufacturing company in Arkansas that makes heavy bits used in mining and excavation projects. And the plant is in several countries around the world. So altogether, a wealthy businessman says that the stripper collected over $3 million from him. and even gave some to her boyfriend. So, unfortunately, Bruner had learned the lesson the hard way. Now he is suing the stripper for $38 million in a comprehensive punitive damages for making him think that he was in an exclusive relationship. So, unless... I know. I'm trying to figure out how to say this correctly. Did they have sex? I don't know. Because if they would have had sex, it's one of two things. Yes, they are in a relationship. No, he's my boyfriend. Oh, he's your boyfriend? Okay. Or two, no, I'm a whore. I'm a prostitute. I'm a girl of the night, lady of the night. Which, depending on where that happened, that would have been illegal. So either she says yes, if they had sex, this is the only thing that's going to happen if it comes out in court. If the judge goes, did you fuck? Yes or no? Yes. Then you're his boyfriend, girlfriend. He wants his money back. They probably won't get that back. Or two, did you have sex? Yes. Is he your boyfriend? No. You're a prostitute. That's illegal in this county or whatever county it is, and you need to go to jail. So one of two things are going to happen. He's either going to get his $38 million back. Doubt it. Or she's going to go to jail for solicitation of prostitution and scamming a guy if he's over the age of 65 or something like that. Maybe scamming an elder out of their money. I don't know what's going to happen on that one, but still. Now, over in the UK, people are feeling like they're getting scammed. They're not getting scammed over in the UK. But they also, they have different snacks and stuff over there. And people are wondering from the United States, when they go over there, they see something called Walker's potato chips. Now, it's the same exact thing as here in the United States, which is called Lay's. The exact same chip. I know everyone's like going, what? There's something more better, an inferior product next to Lay's? No, say it ain't so. It's not so. If you travel abroad, you might have noticed the Walker's. Am I on me now? Yeah, I'm selling me. I have to go back here so I can read it. If you have traveled abroad, you might have noticed that Walker's chips go by a different name in the United States. Walker's Crisp were established in Leicester by Henry Walker in 1984. I'm sorry. Let me flip-flop that. 1948. The snack quickly became a national favorite, securing a massive 56% of the British chip market in 2013. Now, the brand is easily identified by its iconic logo, the yellow sun, the red ribbon across it, reading Walker's. However, internationally, the logos read Lay's, leading fans to ask on Reddit, why is Walker's called Lay's literally everywhere else except the UK? Well, I'll tell you. In 1970, the Walker family sold the business to American food producer Standard Brands. Nearly 2 decades later, in 1989, it was bought out by Lay's owners, Frito-Lay, a division of PepsiCo. Really? 89? That long ago? I thought it would not have been longer than that. While some reports suggest that Walker's retains its name in the UK because it's already a well-established brand, others argue that it is subdued difference between the two products. The statement on the 1-pound bag of crisp reads, Walker's Crisps. That's another show in itself. Walker's Crisp and Lay's Crisp are not exactly the same thing, although they are very similar. Both brands offer a range of potato chip flavors and savory snacks, and they are both owned by the same parent company, PepsiCo. However, there are some differences between the two brands. They offer similar products in terms of potato crisp and savory snacks, but they also have differences in flavor, packaging, and other aspects of the product. The main difference between the Walker's Crisp and the Lay's potato chips, I'm going to just say potato chips because I can't say crisp too much because is that they are marketed under different names in different parts of the world. Walker's is the brand that they use in the UK and Ireland, while Lay's is a brand that's used in most common countries around the world, including the United States, Canada, and Australia. The brand that came first was Lay's. Walker's, a very successful crisp brand that America's wanted to copy to bring over to the United States due to its success in the UK and amongst their American soldiers. Wow. once Pepsi bought the English product Walkers and the American company Lay's, they had a meeting on the name which they had to adopt. They found the name's Walkers was too hard for non-native fluent English speakers to say due to the W, K, and the R. Walkers. So, for the lowbrow people up there, they just called them Lay's. Many people struggle to pronounce these letters in non-English speaking countries, and that made the international brand much harder. Pepsi, decided to keep the name Walkers in Britain, where the concept of these crisps came from, but internationally, the sales would be called Lay's because it's easier for people to say Lay's than Walkers. So there you go. There's a reason why if you're abroad and you see Walkers in the Ireland and stuff, it's Lay's potato chips. It's the same thing. It's just that, people over in Spain or people over in wherever else can't say Walkers. China mostly. I bet you it is China. Oh, you got the Walkers? You got the Rockers? That's what it is. 50 billion people can't be wrong, right? So they can say Lay's. They have a hard time saying Lay's. It's like Lululemon. That's the only reason why you call it Lululemon. So the Japanese people couldn't say, Lululemon. Now, someone who can't say something right now or sing anything right now is this young lady right here. I've never heard of her before. I'm kind of out of the old country music sound and the music industry, not being in strip clubs anymore. But this country singer, Ingrid Address, says that she's now going to rehab for drinking following this disastrous rendition of the national anthem before the Major League Home Run Derby this past Monday. Address, a four-time Grammy nominee, had the honor of performing the anthem during the national televised event in Arlington, Texas. Her singing slowed to a whisper during the parts of the anthem and then seemed out of pitch for the most part of the performance. The rendition went viral on social media, and then she said on Tuesday she was drunk when she sang it. So let's see how drunk she was. Now, let's see. Yeah, let's go to camera 4 so we can see this all in real time. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, go over to YouTube. You can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the air. Let's see. This is from, I don't know what news source this is, but we're going to hear Ingrid Address sing the national anthem. And let's see how she does. You ready? Here we go. Play.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars.
Take your hat off, people.
Through the perilous fight. Or the ramparts we won.
Okay, we're doing good.
We're so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare. The bombs bursting in air. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Was the audience? You can hear him booing. Oh, hair of the dog, girl.
Or the land of the free.
Bring it down.
The home of the brave.
Play ball? Question mark? Play ball? Question mark? Holy Jesus Christ. I mean, I've heard some bad ones. And they always talk about the Roseanne one, but she was just spoofing that. And then what was it? What's the girl from the Black Eyed Peas? She did her rendition, a jazzy version. It didn't turn out well. This has got to be top 3. Holy mackerel. Well, I hope, Ingrid, if that's your problem and then that's what led you to be that way, and you're going to rehab, hopefully you'll find your solution there and come out there and knock it out of the park, for lack of a pun on words there. All right, when we come back, someone else got yelled at and booed at as far as being in front of an audience and saying something and about I try not to get too political, but we're going to get a little bit political. Just touch on a little bit. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be part of the show? Well, we'd love to hear from you. You can come on out. We can hear from you. We'd love to talk to you. You can be live on the air. You can be podcast famous for the most part. If you want to go over to prophetradio.com, it right there in the middle of the page says, leave a message for Deacon Live. It says, step 1, hit record. Step 2, listen back. Step 3, send. You can be anonymous if you want. If you want to go back through and ask me any questions over the last 10 years or so of podcasts that we've been doing here. Hey, what's going on here? And do me a favor, if you, anything past like year 2, you know, from 2020 and on, before that, give me like some kind of referral of what you're talking to. Hey, you know, when you said you would never run out in the street without a dildo stuck in your ass, what did you mean by that? Well, tell me what episode and all that stuff that you're listening to, and I'll listen back to it and see if I can come up with the best answer I can. Most of the time, it's the obvious for the most part. So there you go. Now, we've heard about the assassination or the attempted assassination of the president. Now, I know we do not get too political here on the program, so I'm just going to touch on a little bit of this right now because I think it was interesting. I was watching a news report on CNN. You're like going, oh, CNN, bias. And then I watch a report on Fox, and those guys, and left and right and left. I try to just squeak right through the middle of the ocean. I just make sure that fins on the left, fins on the right. I'm doing all right. I think I got a song there somewhere. And I try to, people try to talk about the conspiracy theory and all that stuff, and it's just, he had a ketchup packet and all this stuff. I'm like going, Jesus Christ, can you just let the incident be an incident? Now, yes, some things fell through the cracks. They saw the guy, the shooter on the roof. Hey, officer, there's a guy up there on the roof. And then why didn't the special forces or the Secret Service agents take the initiative and take the sniper out? I think, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, what if they did shoot the guy on top of the roof who had a scope and a rifle and all that stuff, but he was just there. He was a moron. He just wanted to see the president through a scope. That's all he wanted to do. And then if the Secret Service was to shoot that guy, the kid who's only 20 years old, you would have had a whole flip story. Why did you shoot this kid? He didn't do anything. He didn't, shots were not fired. Why did you fire the first shot? You would have had a whole new narrative if the Secret Service actually shot that kid first. So I don't want to hear shit, because now they're complaining about, I know I told you I was going to be too political, but I'm bringing the political people in to show that I do have somewhat of a brain up here in this head. So if they were to shoot him first, everyone would have freaked out. But they didn't know what his intentions were. Oh, really? Him on the roof? Intentions? No. We don't know what the intentions were. Maybe he was shooting at his ex-wife. Maybe this kid's ex-girlfriend was in the audience. He was going to shoot the ex-girl. Oh, shut up, please. Maybe his ex-girlfriend was out there and he hated her because she loved Trump, but he was going to shoot the ex-girlfriend. We don't know. We don't know what this guy's intentions were. So the guy fires off a couple rounds with an AR-style rifle. He was the worst shooter in his shooting class, from his whatever high school and stuff. Missed, unfortunately, hit the one guy in the back. I mean, that's just the narrative as far as, shooting a weapon into a crowded area. You're going to hit somebody. Unfortunately, killed a volunteer fireman. Hit a couple other people, and then, of course, including the president. So, and then the sniper crew did their job and their due diligence, and then there was a whole clusterfuck, because we really haven't had that kind of situation in a long time. Maybe they should run a little bit more drills. You see the videos of the Secret Service women who have problems holstering their gun, holstering their firearm in the side of in the holster, and they were running around and they were freaking out. And there's a lot of people that complain that Secret Service people should not be women. that there should be, they should all be men, because men are a little bit more protective as far as, where am I going with this? As far as protecting a community, as to where a woman would be more protective of a child type deal. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can disagree with me. Oh, women should be, they can do everything. Yes, they can do everything, but there's some things that, you look forward. When I walk onto a plane and if there's a female cop there, I'm like, all right, maybe I might have to help her. That's all, I swear. But, when you walk on a plane, you see a female, I say cop, a marshal. I see a male marshal. I'm staying out of this one. This guy's got it. He's under control, unless he's like, 130 pounds soaking wet type deal. But I mean, there's a whole lot of things that you can say, what if. But I think in my mind, the whole situation was they didn't know what his intentions were, who his target was. Oh, it's got to be the president. No, it doesn't have to be the president. The president just has to be, or was just happened to be there. Anyways, where I'm going with this, the father, because the gun that the kid had was legally purchased back in 2014. And hold on, let me switch screens here. The father of the gunman who shot Donald Trump called the police right after the rally shooting and was worried for his son, and the firearm was missing, according to reports. Matthew Crooks realized that his 20-year-old son, I'm not going to say his name anymore, and his AR-style rifle were missing shortly after the shots were fired at the former president at a campaign rally on Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. 3 senior law enforcement officials told NBC News that the father then called the police after the shooting. Law enforcement officials then went to the home where Crooks lived with his parents in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Approximately a day later, they publicly identified the Crooks as the gunman who fired on the rooftop outside of the security perimeter of the Trump rally. Because Crooks was not carrying any form of identification, investigators used DNA to confirm his identity. So the law enforcement officials told NBC that upon searching the Crooks home, they discovered more than a dozen firearms. It is not clear at this time if Crooks' father kept his firearms locked up in a storage container, but every single firearm that the father owned, was legally purchased. Under the Pennsylvania gun law, owners are not required to store their firearms in a lockbox or any other locked storage measure, but they are encouraged to. So when you talk about gun laws and gun safety and all that stuff, maybe these are the type of rules that we need to start with. That, if you can buy a firearm that's legal and have it at home, the rule is, by law, you need to have it locked up, especially if there's a person under the age of whatever. I don't know what the bill would be that you would have to take to the, Capitol Hill to get that fixed. But maybe there's one right there. That's a little simple thing that we can fix. Senior law enforcement told NBC that Crooks purchased 50 rounds of ammunition before the rally on Saturday. 50 rounds, huh? FBI also found what appeared to be a metal box full of explosives and the receiver in a car which Crook drove to the rally. Police said it is a sign of that the shooter may have been planning to initiate an explosive. These fucking pop-ups are skipping everything around of some kind. Crook's motive in the shooting remains unclear, but the FBI and other law enforcement agencies have launched an investigation, so on and so forth. Family members and neighbors said that they were shocked to find, they were shocked that this retarded weirdo kid that was picked on in school and was talking about his huge, massive penis. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's videos out there. Was the shooter. Classmates and neighbors also told reporters that Crooks was a quiet boy and did very well academically. Well, there you go. So that's what happened. The father, after the shooting and stuff, said, hey, look, my son's missing and the gun's missing. one of my many guns is missing. So like I said, maybe there's a simple fix right there. If we can't fix the whole entire law as far as gun control and all that stuff, let's maybe fix some of the smaller laws where you have to have, like this state didn't have to have it locked up. Maybe they should have it locked up. In that case, I guess North Carolina, I don't know what the laws are here. I mean, we have firearms here. We have a lot of firearms. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We've got long barrels, we have short barrels, we have pistols and semi-automatics, not automatic, sorry. But I don't know what the law is. I might be unknowingly breaking the law here. I don't know what the law is here, so we'll have to find that out. As soon as my wife listens to this, she's like going, we're finding out right now, what the law is. I know, she's probably looking at me because she always listens to the podcast on Friday evening while we sit there and make dinner. Now, these two right here were on the road for a very long time, and now they're on the road no more. This just in, free speech still not entirely free of consequences, but how we respond to those consequences come calling for us speaks even greater for volumes. Let me read that again. This just in, free speech still not entirely free of consequences, but how we respond to those consequences come calling for us speaks great highly volumes. On stage during the Tenacious D concert in Sydney, Jack Black asked his bandmate Kyle Gass to make a wish for his 64th birthday on Sunday. Before blowing the candles out, Gass' flippant response in the heat of the moment said, "Don't miss Trump next time," and then blew out his candles. All right, it's kind of poor taste. All right, rock and roll, all that stuff has always been a liberal type media against the government, and rock and roll and all that stuff. Fan the flames of the discontent and coming hours after the former president had survived the assassination attempt. Okay, so this is what happened. Gass already has apologized, posting on Instagram that his ad-lib line was highly inappropriate and dangerous and a terrible mistake. Sorry, bud. It's kind of like when you hear people get drunk and they drop the N-bomb, and black people go, all right, so he was drunk, but he did drop the N-bomb. And black people know if he's dropping the N-bomb when he's drunk, he's dropping the N-bomb when he's not drunk. You know what I mean? They know. They kind of do that side eye going, we know what your background is like, honey child. He also added, what happened at Trump rally was a tragedy, of course, I'm incredibly sorry for the severe lack of judgment. Less than 48 hours later, the concert, after Gass reps had dropped him before the Australian officials could try to report Gass or the United States Secret Service could investigate the severity of this quip, Jack Black dumped cold water all over the publicity firestorm. Can he just say he put the fire out, announcing plans not to only scuttle the remainder of the band's tour or cancel? Why are we using these big words? It's like this kid's first day on the job. I need to use big words to show all this stuff. Basically what happened, Jack Black said, hey, look, you know what? Before any of this happens, let's go ahead and cancel everything. Let's wait for the flames to die down. And so Jack Black and Tenacious D are no longer touring because of what he said during that one little split moment of just idiot thought. It was just an idiot thought that he had. He probably had a couple of cocktails and probably felt the love of the audience and said, you know what? I'm going to get them more on my side. I'm going to say, instead of what's his name, Bobby D going fuck Trump, he probably was like, that was his fuck Trump moment, and unfortunately it kind of I hate to use this term, but backfired on him. All right, when we come back, if you're smoking weed right now, guess what? If it was provided by this state populated or the state regulated farm, it might be being recalled, and we'll find out what that recall involves. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I'll move over here so you can see me better. Over here. I'm over here. Here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. At the top of the page says social contacts. You can see all the stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. If you'd like to send me an email, you can find that there as well. That's it. Actually, it's called, what's it called? Deacon@prophetradio.com. You can send me an email. You can send me pictures as well. If you have any comments or anything, or if you just want to ask me, you can be anonymous in there as well. That's Deacon@prophetradio.com. Email me. And make sure you follow us on TikTok. We got a bunch of videos up there. little short, little bite-sized pieces, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and basically all the social contacts are located right there in that platform. And if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or Spotify, great. If you can't find us, if you're watching the video and you can't find us on your network because you might be overseas and they might not offer that to you, that's fine. You can find all the different other platforms that you can find the audio version of this podcast as well. Now, the Major League Baseball thing is going on right now. I know. Sports, baby, right? And the All-Star game, I guess, is going on right now. And this gentleman right here, Mason, what's his name? Hold on. Oakland A's sensational rookie pitcher Mason Miller has now become known for his blistering fastball. During Tuesday night's Major League Baseball All-Star game, Miller threw a pitch so devastating for the American League team that it broke the record for the history in the sporting event. Can't they just, who is fucking writing these things? Fucking chat GPT's fucking up the whole world. The Major League Baseball MLB, Jesus, confirmed that Miller's pitch clocked in over at 103.6 miles an hour, making it the fastest pitch to ever be thrown at an All-Star game in the pitch tracking era, which started in 2008. You would think we would start it a little bit earlier than that. I mean, they've been tracking hurricanes since the 1912s and 1913s. You would think they would start tracking baseball pitches 2008, I guess. Maybe it's not a big deal. Now, if you want to see how fast or what the actual correspondent was as far as him throwing this ball. So here we go. I'm going to switch to camera 4 and we all see this and then we can all be friends. So here we go. I know. Fuck you. Here we go.
A lot of teams have called
here he goes
and said, hey,
boom.
You're not at a stage where you're going to be
ball. That was it. It was he threw a 103 mile an hour ball into the dirt. That's it. That's very depressing in itself. I'll play it one more time. Here we go.
Have called the A's and said, hey, you're not at a stage where you're going to be winning.
So it doesn't count. Come on. That's I'm switching back to me. That's bullshit. You throw 103.6 mile an hour ball or a pitch and it's a ball, doesn't count. New rules right here. It's got to be a strike. It's got to be a hittable, playable pitch. I mean, I could throw a 103 mile an hour ball straight up in the air. Oh my God, I can't really. I think I topped out at like 75 in my high school days, but still, 103 mile an hour ball and it's a pitch and it's a ball. Fuck that. Doesn't count. Flag on the field. Yellow card. Kick him out of the stadium. I don't know what they have to do there, but it's got to be it has to be a strike. Let's put the asterisk on there, right next to Barry Bonds. Scribble that in too, in the borrow on the side. Now, something we have outside of the election, we have all these new laws and stuff that are going to be popping up everywhere, especially in Florida. Now, I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida, and I know that legal recreational marijuana is on the table. And I don't know if it's going to pass because they tried to pass it before, or it did pass before, and then they said, no, you guys didn't know what you were voting for, so let's vote again. So they kind of threw in some like hurdles that we had to jump as far as getting medical marijuana. No, you can't go to a doctor. You have to go to a doctor. And you can't go to a dispensary. You have to go to a dispensary, wink, 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 and all that other stuff. It was just a whole mess. But right now, the New York State's Office of Cannabis Management issued a recall for 25 cannabis products sold at the licensed dispensaries throughout the state after discovering the products were manufactured by an unlicensed cannabinoid hemp processor. Oh no, are you telling me someone who did it on their fucking own? Haven't we been doing this since cannabis has been around? I'm doing my Colin McCulkin face as we're talking here, if you're watching me on the video here. The OCM issued a recall for Eat Sky High LLC, Sky High brand on Friday. The brand has a variety of products named after condiments, dessert toppings, and other items containing either 200 milligrams or 500 milligrams of THC. The proactive, I love how they do that. The proactive compound found in the pro psychoactive compound that's found in marijuana. I love how they describe that. Like we don't fucking know. Oh, I'm 2 years old. I'm reading this article. Mom. The products were sold at licensed dispensaries throughout the state. The OCM urges customers to return the items for a full refund, even if they've been opened. Right. I'm returning it. This recall is a precautionary measure because it's required state testing for consumable or for consumer safety, and the product cannot be confirmed, and the quality cannot be confirmed. The Office of Cannabis Management has not received any reports of adverse effects caused by the consumption of this product. Investigation into this matter is ongoing and ongoing. They're looking into it. Is basically they're like going, no, we don't know what's going on, but everyone's fine, I guess. No one's dead. The OCM oversees the regulation of adult use, medical, and hemp cannabis, according to the New York government webpage. Cannabis was legalized in New York for adult use on March 31st, 2021, prompting to create the OCM. The OCM will issue a license. The OCM issues licenses and develop regulations outlining how and when products can participate in the new industry, the webpage says. So there you go. If you're out in New York, and you feel a little bit, hey, I bought some stuff. It's called High Sky or whatever it's called. Hey, try this, man. And it's not like that. You ever walked in a head shop? You walk in a dispensary. I walked in the one in Alaska. It's a bunch of nerds behind the counter. Well, eventually, sir, you need to, this, and this has 14 milligrams, 200 milligrams. Christ, I had a 5 milligram in Alaska, and it fucking blew my fucking mind. Jesus Christ. Who's eating the 200 milligram ones? Those people. Now, speaking of saving lives, this woman right here on TikTok has gone completely viral. She is called there's someone out there called the Thrift Vigilante, has gone viral by exposing some of the strangest prices tactics at the Goodwill in a new viral video. In a clip, which has amassed 1.3 million views, TikToker Happy Vibes 1983 shared something peculiar inside a $2.99 mason jar. Namely, a note that read, "You can buy these new for $1.98. This TikToker discovered was especially valuable information, as she noted how Goodwill appeared to price the jar at $2.99. So then she discovered another note in the same handwriting in another glass jar that read, "This is literally a used jelly jar. You could literally you could pull this from the trash." The TikToker couldn't contain her laughter, and comments were equally amusing. So here we go. We're going to play this video. Hold on there, sister. I know you're all excited. You're on TikTok and doing all that stuff. So here's Happy Vibes 1983 talking about how this person is putting all these little secret notes in Goodwill stuff and saving you probably a bunch of money from buying crap. So I'm going to switch to camera 4 and we can all see this and we can all be friends. So here we go. Take it away, Happy Vibes.
And I just found the craziest ever. Watch.
Okay.
Someone put this note.
So she reads into
You can buy this brand new for
You can buy this brand new for $1.28. $2.99.
There's another one right here.
This is literally a jelly jar. Oh, there you go.
This really is a used jar, like from a recycling bin.
That looks like a girl's handwriting too.
Trash. This costs $2 brand new at Walmart.
She picks up another jar. $3.99. So she's out there. She's pulling. I think she probably did her. So I'm gonna go back to me now. I know when my mom passed away, there's a place called Pearls up the road from us. I say up the road. It's 10 miles. We live out in the middle of nowhere. And my mom had all these gowns, all these dresses, all this business attire type stuff. And I didn't want to sit there and go through and sell each piece because each piece was probably worth, $100 and $200 and $300 each. And I had a whole flatbed, like the bed of my truck, full of all these outfits and stuff. We took care of them and whatnot. And we took them up to Pearls, and Pearls was a place where you could take, old clothes and stuff like that and they would have people that were working back in the community, type of like a halfway house type deal, but work release. But they were, women mostly addicted to drugs, and they're getting off drugs. But for whatever reason, when we dropped off that big load, I mean, tons and tons of stuff, then the place closed down like 4 months later. So I don't know if they made a fucking killing on all my mom's clothes, and they're like going, we're fucking selling this on eBay. We made it. We made it, Teresa. Teresa always gets a bad rap, but Teresa, we made it. We could sell all this stuff and buy the house out in Beverly Hills somewhere. Beverly Hills, Florida, probably. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying what you got to do. Make sure you follow us over on your social networks. Make sure you go to Prophet Radio, get yourself something for free. And also, we'd love to hear from you. Go to the Be Heard section right there in the middle of the page and click record, listen, and send. I think that's the way it's called up. And you can be anonymous if you want. All right, guys, on that note, my name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.